Welcome to the Wushu project of the Zen Shin Club Italia, School of Chinese Martial Arts. Judging Wushu. The Sonda Regulation of the International Wushu Federation. 2017 version. Under the supervision of Master Gabriel Tabili, IWF International Wushu Judge. Chapter 1. General Regulations.
Article 1. Competition types. Team events. Individual events. Article 2. Competition method. Paragraph 1. Round-robin method, knockout method. Paragraph 2. Each bout consists of 3 2-minute rounds. Junior events may employ 1 minute and 30-second rounds, with a 1-minute rest in between. A bout is won by a competitor winning 2 of the 3 rounds. Article 3. Age categories and requirements. Paragraph 1. Senior competitors shall be 18 to 40, including 40 full years of age. Junior competitors shall be between 15 and 17, including 17 years of age. And children competitors shall be between 12 and 14, including 14 years of age, at the time of competition. Paragraph 2. A competitor must hold a valid passport issued by the country region which she is representing. Paragraph 3. Each competitor must hold a valid personal life insurance certificate. Paragraph 4. Each competitor must produce a valid health certificate, showing his/her electroencephalogram, electrocardiogram, blood pressure, and heart rate, issued by a qualified medical doctor from a checkup performed within a period of 15 days prior to the date of registration at the competition. Article 4. Weight categories. Paragraph 1. Children's weight divisions. 39 kilograms. 42 kilograms, 45 kilograms, 48 kilograms, 52 kilograms, 56 kilograms, 60 kilograms. Paragraph 2. Juniors weight divisions. 48 kilograms, 52 kilograms, 56 kilograms, 60 kilograms, 65 kilograms, 70 kilograms, 75 kilograms, 80 kilograms. Paragraph 3. Senior weight divisions. 48 kilograms, 52 kilograms, 56 kilograms, 60 kilograms, 65 kilograms, 70 kilograms, 75 kilograms, 80 kilograms, 85 kilograms, 90 kilograms, over 90 kilograms. Article 5. Weighing in. Paragraph 1. All qualified athletes must present their passport in order to weigh in. Paragraph 2. The weighing in shall be conducted by the Chief Registrar in collaboration with the scheduler recorders under the supervision of the Jury of Appeals. Paragraph 3. All athletes must arrive at the designated time at the designated place as set out by the organizing committee in order to weigh in. Athletes may weigh in the nude or with trunks on. Female competitors may wear tight-fitting undergarments. Paragraph 4. The weighing in shall start with the lighter weight categories and continue on to the heavier categories. Each category should conclude its weighing in within a period of 1 hour. Any competitor who fails to weigh in correctly within his or her registered division within the allocated time period of 1 hour will not be permitted to participate in any of the subsequent contests. Paragraph 5. Competitors that are competing on a specific day of competition are required to weigh in at the specific time and place prior to the start of the day's events. Article 6. Drawing lots. Paragraph 1. The drawing lot ceremony shall be conducted by the scheduling recording group, in the presence of the chairman of jury of appeal, the chief referee, and team coaches or team leaders. Paragraph 2. The drawing lot ceremony shall take place after the initial weighing-in session has concluded, and will start with the lighter weight categories and continue on to the heavier categories. Any category with only one competitor shall be excluded from the contest. Paragraph 3. Team coaches or team leaders shall draw lots on behalf of the competitors from their respective teams. Article 7. Competition attire and protective gear. Paragraph 1. All competitors shall wear IWUF-approved clothing and protective gear. Paragraph 2. IWUF-approved clothing for men includes Sonder shorts and vest, and for women includes Sonder shorts and t-shirt. The shorts and vest will be of the same color, namely red or blue. Competitors are required to provide their own clothing, and this should include one set in red and one set in blue. Paragraph 3. Protective gear is separated into two colors, namely red and blue. Protective gear includes headgear, gloves, chest protector. Competitors are required to provide their own gum guard, groin cups, and hand wraps. The groin cups must be worn under the trunks. The length for hand wraps shall be between 3.5 meter and 4.5 meter in total. Paragraph 4. For the junior and children divisions, the weight of the gloves will be 230 grams. For senior divisions, the weight of gloves shall be 230 grams for the women's categories and the men's 65 kilograms category and below. And the weight of the gloves shall be 280 grams for the men's 70 kilograms category and above. Paragraph 5. For female competitors who are of the Islamic faith, the IWUF has permitted such competitors to wear Islamic competition attire in line with the below standards. Such competitors are required to wear all the below stipulated Islamic attire and may not selectively wear some of them separately. This includes the following: long sleeve top, not form-fitting; full-length trousers, not form-fitting; headscarf, underneath the protective headgear. The above stipulated clothing must be made of flexible material that is not excessively slick or slippery, material composed of spandex, polyester, nylon, and microfiber combinations are acceptable. The long sleeve top, headscarf, and full-length trousers will be of the same color, namely red or blue. Competitors are required to provide their own clothing, and this should include one set in red and one set in blue. Such clothing should not inhibit the full range motion of the competitor's body and limbs or interfere with their opponent's actions in any way, and it should not impede or interfere with the IWUF specified protective gear either. Should a competitor's clothing fail to conform to the above, the jury of appeals on site has the authority to deny their participation in the event. Article 8. Competition etiquette. Paragraph 1. Competitors shall perform a palm and fist salute when they are introduced to the audience before the start of each match. Paragraph 2. At the start of each round, the competitors shall perform a palm and fist salute from the platform towards their respective coaches, who in turn shall return the same palm and fist salute. The competitors will then perform a palm and fist salute towards one another. Paragraph 3. When announcing the result of a bout, the competitors shall first switch their positions. Following the announcement of the result, the competitors shall perform a palm and fist salute to each other first, then to the platform judge, who will return the salute, following which the competitors will salute one another's coaches, who will also return the salute. Paragraph 4. When a sideline judge is replaced by another judge, both judges shall perform a palm and fist salute to one another. Article 9. Default. Paragraph 1. Should during the course of a competition, a competitor is unable to compete due to illness or injury, which must be confirmed as legitimate by the medical committee's appointed doctor, or due to failure to weigh in correctly, this shall be considered as default and the competitor will not be permitted to participate in the following matches. However, the ranking achieved up to that point will still be considered as valid. Paragraph 2. Should during the course of a bout, there is a great disparity in strength and ability and a competitor is being outclassed, in order to ensure the safety of the competitor, his or her coach may raise the default plate. The competitor herself may also raise her hand or voluntarily step off the competition platform to default during the course of a bout. Paragraph 3. Should a competitor be absent for the weighing in, fail to appear for the roll call 3 times prior to a bout, or leaves the designated area following the roll call, fail to appear at the competition area on time, this will be regarded as a groundless default. Paragraph 4. During a competition, should a competitor have a groundless default, all his results attained in the competition up to that point shall be cancelled. Article 10. Other competition-related provisions. Paragraph 1. When officiating, all judges should concentrate fully on their task at hand, they should not converse with anyone during this time, and are not permitted to leave their stations without the head judge's permission. Paragraph 2. All competitors must abide by the competition rules and protocols, and respect and obey the judges' and officials' decisions. It is forbidden to cause disruptions, curse and shout, throw protective gear etc., or act in any way to display discontent. During a bout, competitors are not permitted to leave the field of play prior to the announcement of the results, except in cases of medical or first aid emergency. Paragraph 3. During a bout, the coach may only be accompanied by one assistant coach or team doctor. They must wear official attire and must remain seated at the designated spot. Paragraph 4. Doping in any form is strictly forbidden. Competitors are not permitted to inhale oxygen in the rest period between rounds.
Chapter 2. Jury of Appeals and Duties.
Article 11. Composition of Jury of Appeals. The Jury of Appeals will consist of one chairman, one assistant chairman, and 3 or 5 members. Article 12. Duties of Jury of Appeals. Paragraph 1. The Jury of Appeals shall work under the leadership of the organizing committee of the competition. The Jury of Appeals is responsible mainly for supervising competition on such matters as checking the competition area and facilities, equipment, scheduling, drawing of lots, competitors weighing in, grouping of officials and arrangement and conduction of their work etc. During competition, the Jury of Appeals shall supervise the officiating work. In case of any obvious unjust behavior or incorrect judgment, it shall have the right to give warnings to the officials concerned and, in serious cases, may even propose to the IWUF Technical Committee to remove them from their current officiating work to ensure the smooth running of competitions. Paragraph 2. The Jury of Appeal shall deal with appeals submitted by participating teams who have disagreement with the platform referee's decisions in relation to the rules and regulations of the competition. Such appeals shall be confined to decisions related directly to the appealing team. Paragraph 3. The Jury of Appeal shall handle the appeals immediately after receiving them, and duly notify the parties concerned of the ruling. Paragraph 4. The Jury of Appeal shall investigate the case and will immediately watch the video recording at the competition site. It may hold discussion meetings and invite other parties to attend them as observers without the right to vote. The meetings must be attended by more than half of the members of the Jury of Appeal. The number of members of the Jury of Appeal participating in the investigation must be more than half of its total members in order for any voting decisions to be valid. In case of a tied vote, the chairman shall have the right to make the final decision. Paragraph 5. Members of the Jury of Appeal shall not participate in investigations in which their country or region is involved. Paragraph 6. Should through the examination process it is found that the platform referee's original decision was correct, it will be upheld. Should the platform referee's original decision be found to have been incorrect, the Jury of Appeals has the right to change the platform judge's decision and competitor's result concerned, and shall request that the technical committee deals with the judge in question in line with IWUF provisions. The decision of the Jury of Appeal shall be final. Article 13. Appeal method and requirements. Paragraph 1. Each participating team has the opportunity to appeal at most 2 times within a single competition. A participating team who has disagreement with the platform referees must immediately compile a written appeal at the competition scene, and following the consent of the chief referee together submit it along with the appeal fee of $200. The jury of appeals will then immediately review the match and come to a conclusion. Should the appeal be found to be valid, then the result will be altered and the appeal fee will be refunded. Should the appeal be found to be invalid, then the result will remain unchanged and the appeal fee will be retained. Paragraph 2. All teams shall abide by and accept the final decisions made by the jury of appeals. Strict measures will be taken, according to the severity of the case and IWUF's relevant provisions, against teams that cause any disruptions in protest to the decision of the jury of appeals.
Chapter 3. Competition officials and duties.
Article 14. Composition of competition officials. Paragraph 1. There shall be 1 chief referee and 1 or 2 assistant chief referees. Paragraph 2. Contest judges group. 1 head judge, 1 assistant head judge. Platform referees, 2 to 4 groups required on rotational standby. 1 recorder, 1 timekeeper. 3 or 5 sideline judges, 2 to 3 groups required on rotational standby. Paragraph 3. 1 chief scheduler recorder. Paragraph 4. 1 chief registrar. Article 15. Composition of competition assistants. For scheduler recorders. 4 to 6 registrars. 1 medical supervisor. 2 to 5 medical assistants. 1 to 2 announcers. 2 to 4 electronic scoring system operators. 2 to 4 jury of appeals camera operators. Article 16. Duties of competition officials. Paragraph 1. Chief referee. Organize the study sessions for all officials to study and review the rules and regulations of the competition, and to master the officiating methods. Inspect and ensure the correct preparation of the competition venue field of play, competition and judging equipment, and the preparation of the weighing in, drawing of lots ceremony, and other competition-related preparations. Attend to problems related to the competition rules and regulations, but has no power to modify them. Manage the judges' groups during competition and replace officials as required. Should during the course of a competition there be any changes to the order of competition due to a competitor defaulting and withdrawing, the chief referee should timeously notify the technical delegate, the jury of appeals, the head judge, the chief scheduler recorder, and the announcers. Have the right to make the final decision when a dispute arises within the technical official groups. Be responsible for the accurate implementation of the rules and regulations by the competition officials. Review, sign and announce the results of competition. Submit a written report to the organizing committee. Paragraph 2. Assistant Chief Referee. Be responsible for the accurate implementation of the rules and regulations by the competition officials. Paragraph 3. Head Judge. Be responsible for the organization of his judges' group study sessions and work implementation. Overview and manage the work of the judges, timekeeper, and recorder. Should the platform referee make any apparent incorrect judgments or miss any judgments, notify the platform referee by way of signal whistle to make the relevant corrections. May amend the bout results prior to them being announced with the approval of the chief referee in cases of misjudgment. Announce the result at the end of each round. Handle such matters as absolute victory, off-platform, warnings, forcible counting etc., according to the competitor's actions on the platform and the recorder's records. Review and sign the results at the end of each bout. Paragraph 4. Assistant Head Judge. the assistant head judge will assist the head judge with his work and may perform other officials' tasks concurrently when necessary. Paragraph 5. Platform referees. Inspect the competitor's protective gear and ensure safety during the bout. Direct the competitors during a bout through calls and gestures. Make judgments for instances of falling down off platform, warnings and admonishments, forcible counting, etc., and to call for first aid when needed. Announce the results of each bout. Paragraph 6. Sideline judges. Award points to the competitors in line with the rules. Display the results simultaneously and instantly at the head judge's request at the end of each round. Shall objectively answer the platform referee's queries regarding situations arising during a bout. Sign the scorecard at the end of each bout, which must be kept for examination and verification. Paragraph 7. Recorder. Accurately complete the competitor's details on the recording forms before each bout. Participate in the work of weighing in ceremony and record each competitor's weight on the statistical chart of the bout. Record the numbers of warnings, admonitions, forcible counting and off-platform, passive holding, clinching, passivity according to the platform judge's calls and gestures. Determine the winner of each round according to the sideline judge's decisions and report this to the head judge. Paragraph 8. Timekeeper. Inspect the gong and timing devices before the competition, making sure that the clocks and stopwatches keep correct time. Keep a record of the time elapsed during the rounds, stops and rest periods between the rounds. In instances where computer scoring system is unavailable, blow the whistle 10 seconds before the start of each round and strike the gong to announce its end. Paragraph 9. Chief Scheduler Recorder. Be responsible for examining the competitor's credentials and entry forms. Organize the drawing lot ceremony and compile the competition schedule. Prepare all the various forms to be used in competition, check and verify the competitors' results to determine their placing. Record and disseminate the results of all bouts. Collect data for statistics and compile the results. Paragraph 10. Scheduler Recorders. The scheduler recorders shall perform tasks as assigned by the Chief Scheduler Recorder. Paragraph 11. Chief Registrar. Be responsible for the competitors weighing in. Be responsible for the preparation of protective gear and its management during the competition. Summon the competitors for roll call 20 minutes before the start of a bout. Report to the chief referee immediately in the case of absence or default during the roll call. Inspect the competitors' dress and protective gear, as required by the rules. Be responsible for the roll call during the medal awarding ceremony. Paragraph 12. Registrars. The registrars shall perform tasks as assigned by the Chief Registrar. Paragraph 13. Announcers. Introduce the rules and regulations of the competition, as well as important information to the audience. Introduce the judges and competitors to the audience. Announce the competition results. Paragraph 14. Medical Supervisor. Inspect each athlete's submitted medical reports and documentation. Conduct athlete medical examinations prior to the start of competition. Provide medical attention at the field of play for injuries. Shall be responsible to make decisions regarding circumstances when injuries caused by foul action during a bout. Shall make decisions regarding an athlete's inability to continue competing due to injury sustained during a bout, and recommend to the chief referee to suspend the bout. Work with the doping control personnel. Paragraph 15. Electronic scoring system operators. Electronic scoring system operators are responsible for work related to the operation of the electronic scoring system. Paragraph 16. Jury of Appeals camera operators shall be responsible for all competition filming and recording work, in line with the competition rules.
Chapter 4. Permitted and prohibited methods, scoring standards and penalties.
Article 17. Permitted methods. All wushu punching, kicking, and throwing wrestling techniques are permitted to be utilized. Article 18. Prohibited methods. Paragraph 1. Attacking with the head, the elbow, or the knee, or by putting pressure on the joints of the opponent in an adverse direction. Paragraph 2. Utilizing throwing or wrestling techniques which force the opponent to land on his or her head, or deliberately smashing down the opponent. Paragraph 3. Attacking the head of the downed opponent by any means. Paragraph 4. For junior and children competitions, it is prohibited to continuously punch the face, or use leg techniques targeting the head unless otherwise stated. Article 19. Valid scoring areas. The head, the torso, and the thighs are valid scoring areas. Article 20. Prohibited striking areas. The back of head, the neck, and the crotch are prohibited striking areas. Article 21. Scoring criteria. Paragraph 1. Scoring 2 points. When a competitor's opponent falls off the platform, his or her opponent will be awarded 2 points. A competitor will be awarded 2 points if his or her opponent falls down while he or she remains standing. A competitor who strikes his or her opponent on the torso or the head with a valid leg technique will be awarded 2 points. A competitor who makes his or her opponent fall down by falling down himself or herself deliberately and immediately stands up in a flowing motion will be awarded 2 points. When a competitor receives a forcible counting, his or her opponent will be awarded 2 points. When a competitor is issued a warning, his or her opponent will be awarded 2 points. Paragraph 2. Scoring 1 point. A competitor who strikes his or her opponent on the torso or the head with a valid punching technique will be awarded 1 point. A competitor who strikes his or her opponent on the thigh with a valid leg technique will be awarded 1 point. In a situation when 2 athletes fall down together, the athlete who falls down second will be awarded 1 point. A competitor who makes his or her opponent fall down by falling down himself or herself deliberately and does not immediately stand up in a flowing motion will be awarded 1 point. When a competitor is ordered to attack and fails to do so within 5 seconds, his or her opponent will be awarded 1 point. Should a competitor fail to get to his feet within 3 seconds, after falling down on purpose, his or her opponent will be awarded 1 point. When a competitor is issued an admonishment, his or her opponent will be awarded 1 point. Paragraph 3. No points will be awarded. When a technique employed is not clear and lacks effect, no points will be awarded. When both competitors fall off the platform, or both fall down simultaneously, no points will be awarded. Should a competitor unsuccessfully, without contact, attempt to make use of a technique by falling down himself/herself but stands up within 3 seconds, no points will be awarded the opponent. When a competitor strikes his opponent while in a hold clinch, no points will be awarded. Article 22. Paragraph 1. Technical fouls. Passive holding or clinching. Passive evasion. Calling for a timeout when in a disadvantageous position. Intentionally delaying the bout. Showing disrespect to or disobeying the orders of the judges and referees during a bout. Failure to wear a gum guard, or spitting it out, or a competitor's gear comes loose or comes off. Failure to display competition etiquette. Paragraph 2. Personal fouls. Attacking the opponent before the call of Kaisha, start, or after the call of Ting, stop. Striking a prohibited area. Striking the opponent utilizing a prohibited method. Deliberately injuring the opponent. Paragraph 3. Penalties. An admonition will be issued for a technical foul. A warning will be issued for a personal foul. A competitor with 3 personal fouls will be disqualified from the bout. A competitor who deliberately injures his or her opponent will be disqualified from the entire competition, with all results achieved that far invalidated. A competitor who utilizes prohibited substances and/or inhales oxygen during the rest periods will be disqualified from the entire competition, with all results achieved that far invalidated. Article 23. Match stoppage. A match will be stopped when a competitor falls down, excluding deliberate falling, or falls off the platform. When a competitor is being issued a penalty. When a competitor is injured. Competitors who are holding clinching without successfully executing a wrestling or throwing technique for 2 seconds. When a competitor deliberately falls down and remains down for more than 3 seconds. A competitor fails to attack for 5 seconds after being ordered to do so. When a competitor raises his hand to request a timeout. When the head judge corrects a misjudgment or omission. When a problem arises or there is a dangerous situation on the platform. Due to lighting, field of play, problems with the electronic scoring system, etc., and related issues affecting the competition.
Chapter 5. Determining winner and loser and placing.
Article 24. Winner and loser. Paragraph 1. Absolute victory. Should during a bout there be a great disparity in strength between the two competitors, the platform referee, with the head judge's approval, may declare the stronger competitor the winner of the bout. Should during a bout, a competitor is knocked down and fails to get to his or her feet within 10 seconds, excluding personal fouls, or who has managed to get to his or her feet but has an abnormal state of consciousness, his or her opponent will be declared the winner of the bout. Should during a bout, a competitor has been forcibly counted 3 times after receiving heavy blows, excluding personal fouls, his or her opponent will be declared the winner of the bout. Should during a round, the difference in score between the two competitors be 12 points or more confirmed by at least 5 sideline judges, then the competitor with the higher score shall be deemed the winner of the bout. Paragraph 2. Determining the winner of a round. The result of each round will be determined by the scoring by the side judges. Should during a round, a competitor has been forcibly counted 2 times after receiving heavy blows, excluding personal fouls, his or her opponent will be declared the winner of the round. Should during a round, a competitor falls off the platform 2 times, his or her opponent will be declared the winner of the round. Should during a round there be a tied score, the winner of the round will be decided by the following sequence. The competitor with fewer warnings will be declared the winner. The competitor with fewer admonitions will be declared the winner. The competitor with a lighter weight on the day of the contest will be declared the winner. Should a tie remain following the above process, then the round will be declared a tie. Paragraph 3. Determining the winner of a bout. During a bout, the competitor who is first to win 2 rounds will be declared the winner of the bout. During a bout, if a competitor is injured or ill, and, as certified by the doctor, and unable to continue the bout, his or her opponent will be declared the winner of the bout. During a bout, should a competitor feign injury following a foul committed by his or her opponent, and this injury is proven to be unfounded by the medical supervisor, the athlete who committed the foul will be declared the winner of the bout. The competitor who is injured by the opponent through foul actions and, as confirmed by the medical supervisor, unable to continue the bout, will be declared the winner of the bout, but he will be barred from subsequent bouts in the event. Under the round-robin system, an equal number of rounds won by both competitors in a bout will be declared a draw. Under the knockout system, an equal number of rounds won by both competitors in a bout, the winner of the bout will be decided by the following sequence. The competitor with fewer warnings will be declared the winner. The competitor with fewer admonitions will be declared the winner. Should a tie remain following the above process, then an additional round will be added. Article 25. Placing. Paragraph 1. Individual placing. Under the knockout system, the placing will be decided directly from the results. Under the round-robin system, the competitor with a greater number of running points shall be placed higher. In the case of a tie between two or more competitors, their places will be determined in the following order of precedence. The competitor who has lost fewer rounds will be placed higher. The competitor with fewer warnings will be placed higher. The competitor with fewer admonitions will be placed higher. The competitor with a lighter weight at the time of drawing lots will be placed higher. If following the above process a tie remains, the competitors will share the tied place. Paragraph 2. Team placing. Placing points. The first 8 places in each weight category will be awarded 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 points respectively. The first 6 places in each weight category will be awarded 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 points respectively. Method for dealing with tied scores. If 2 or more teams have achieved equal points, the placing will be determined through the following sequence. The team with more individual first places will be placed higher. If the tie remains, the team with more individual second places will be placed higher, and so on and so forth. The team with fewer warnings will be placed higher. The team with fewer admonitions will be placed higher. If following the above process a tie remains, the teams will share the tied place.
Chapter 6. Competition Arrangement and Recording.
Article 26. Scheduling. Paragraph 1. The schedule shall be based on the competition regulations, number of participants registered, and competition schedule. Paragraph 2. The same weight category, within the same round, shall be organized together as evenly as possible. Paragraph 3. A single athlete may at most compete in 2 matches in a single day of competition. Paragraph 4. Within a single session the bouts will begin from the lighter weight categories and move up in ascending order to the heaviest weight category. Article 27. Recording. Paragraph 1. The sideline judges shall keep a record of the points awarded to each competitor according to the scoring criteria and the platform judges' decisions. At the end of each round, they shall fill in the competitors' scores into the score recording form. Paragraph 2. The recorder shall keep a separate record of the admonitions, warnings, off-platform, disqualification, and forcible counting. Paragraph 3. Under the round-robin system, the scheduling recording group shall fill in the results of each bout into the recording form, awarding 2 points for the winner, 0 points for the loser, and 1 point to each side for a drawn bout. A winner by default shall be awarded 2 points and the defaulter 0 points.
Chapter 7. Calls and hand gestures.
Article 28. Platform judges' calls and hand gestures. Paragraph 1. Palm and fist salute. Standing with feet together, press the left palm against the right fist at chest height, 20 to 30 centimeters away from the chest. Paragraph 2. Mount the platform. Standing at the center of the platform, extend both arms out to the side with the center of the palms facing upwards pointing at the 2 competitors. As you call on them to mount the platform, bend both arms at the elbow into a right angle with the palms facing each other. Paragraph 3. Competitors salute one another. Place the left palm on top of the right fist in front of the body as a signal to both competitors to salute each other. Paragraph 4. First round. Facing the head judge, form gong bu, bow stance, and, while calling de iju, first round, extend one arm forward with the index finger pointing up and the other 3 fingers and the thumb clenched into a fist. Paragraph 5. Second round. Facing the head judge, form gong bu, bow stance, and, while calling de aju, second round, extend one arm forward with the index finger and the middle finger separated and pointing up and the other 2 fingers and the thumb clenched into a fist. Paragraph 6. Third round. Facing the head judge, form gong bu, bow stance, and, while calling D San Ju, third round, extend one arm forward with the index finger, the middle finger and the thumb separated and pointing up and the other two fingers clenched into a fist. Paragraph 7. Yubei. Kaisha. Ready. Start. Form a gong bu, bow stance, between the two competitors and, while calling Yubei, ready, extend both arms out sideways, palm facing up and pointing at the competitors. Then, while calling Kaisha, start, draw the two palms in towards one another in front of the abdomen. Paragraph 8. Ting. Stop. While calling Ting, stop. Form gong bu, bow stance, and insert one extended palm, vertically orientated, between the two competitors, fingers pointing up. Paragraph 9. 5-second passivity. While calling Hongfang, red side, or Lanfang, blue side, and signaling to that competitor with one arm straightened and the center of its palm facing upwards, raise the other hand in front of the body, with the 5 fingers separated and extended naturally. Paragraph 10. Count. Facing the relevant competitor, with both arms bent at elbow and both hands clenched into fists in front of the body, palms facing forward, starting from one hand to uncurl the fingers one by one from the thumb to the little finger, at an interval of 1 second each. Paragraph 11. Passive holding or clinching. Signal to the relevant competitor with one arm straightened and the center of its palm facing upwards, then curl the arms in front of the body in a hug-like manner. Paragraph 12. Passive holding advice. Signal to the relevant competitor with one arm straightened and the center of its palm facing upwards, then curl the arms in front of the body in a hug-like manner, followed by raising one hand naturally with the index finger pointing up and the other 3 fingers and the thumb clenched into a fist. Paragraph 13. 8-second forcible counting. Facing the head judge, extend one arm with the thumb pointing up and the other fingers clenched. Paragraph 14. 3 seconds. Signal to the relevant competitor with one arm straightened and the center of its palm facing upwards while calling Hongfang, red side, or Lanfang, blue side, and move the other hand across the abdomen to the side of the body, with the thumb and the index and middle finger separated and extended naturally and the other 2 fingers clenched. Paragraph 15. A pointed attack. Extend one arm between the two competitors, with the thumb extended and the other fingers clenched, palm side down. While calling Hongfang, red side, or Lanfang, blue side, move the hand horizontally in the direction of the thumb as a signal for a pointed attack. Paragraph 16. Down. While calling Hongfang, red side, or Lanfang, blue side, extend one arm with palm facing up and pointing at the down competitor as the other arm moves to the side of the body, bent at elbow and with palm facing downwards. Paragraph 17. First down. Extend one arm with the palm facing upwards towards the competitor who is the first to fall down and, while calling Hongfang, red side, or Lanfang, blue side, cross the arms in front of the abdomen, palms facing down. Paragraph 18. Simultaneous down. Extend both arms horizontally forward and withdraw them to press both palms downwards. Paragraph 19. One competitor off the platform. Extend one arm towards with the palm facing upwards towards the competitor who went off the platform and, while calling Hongfang, red side, or Lanfang, blue side, push the other hand forward in a bow stance with the fingers pointing up and the palm facing forwards. Paragraph 20. Both competitors off the platform. Form a gong bu, bow stance, and push both palms forward, arms fully stretched and fingers pointing up. Then bend both arms at elbow into a right angle in front of the body, palms facing backwards, while bringing the feet together to stand upright. Paragraph 21. Kicking the crotch. Extend one arm with the palm facing upwards towards the competitor who performed the illegal action and while calling Hongfang, red side, Or Lan Fang, blue side. Point the other hand toward the crotch with the palm facing inwards. Paragraph 22. Striking the back of head. Extend one arm with the palm facing upwards towards the competitor who performed the illegal action and, while calling Hongfang, red side. Or Lan Fang, blue side. Place the other hand on the back of the head. Paragraph 23. Elbow foul. Bend both arms in front of the chest and, while calling Hongfang, red side. Or Lan Fang, blue side. Cover one elbow with the other hand. Paragraph 24. Knee foul. Raise one knee and, while calling Hongfang, red side. Or Lan Fang, blue side. Pat the knee with the hand of the same side. Paragraph 25. Warning. Extend one arm with the palm facing upwards towards the competitor who performed the illegal action and, while calling Hongfang, red side. Or Lan Fang, blue side. Bend the other arm at elbow into a right angle, fingers clenched into a fist, with back of the fist facing outward. Paragraph 26. Admonition. Extend one arm with the palm facing upwards towards the competitor who performed the illegal action and, while calling Hongfang, red side. Or Lan Fang, blue side. Bend the other arm at elbow into a right angle, fingers extended forming a palm, with center of the palm facing inwards. Paragraph 27. Disqualification. While calling out Hongfang, red side. Or Lan Fang, blue side. Clench both hands into fists and cross the forearms in front of the body. Paragraph 28. Not valid. Extend both arms and then cross them in front of the abdomen by a swinging motion. Paragraph 29. First aid emergency treatment. Facing the medical supervision desk, cross forearms in front of the chest, fingers pointing up forming a cross. Paragraph 29. Rest. Extend both arms out to the side, palms facing up, and point towards the competitor's respective resting places. Paragraph 31. Exchange positions. Standing at the center of the platform, cross the arms in front of the abdomen. Paragraph 32. Draw. Standing between the competitors, hold both of their wrists and raise their hands. Paragraph 33. Winner. Standing between the competitors, hold the winner's wrist and raise his or her hand. Article 29. Sideline judges' calls and hand gestures. Paragraph 1. Off the platform or falling down. Point downwards with the index finger, with the other four fingers clenched. Paragraph 2. Not off the platform or not falling down. Form a palm with one of the hands, with the fingers pointing up and wave it to the left and right. Paragraph 3. Not seen clearly. Bend both arms at the elbows while holding the hands open with the palms facing upwards, and spread them outwards to the side of the body.
Chapter 8. Competition area and equipment.
Article 30. Competition area. Paragraph 1. Sonda competition shall take place on an IWUF-approved Wushu Sonda competition platform Lei Tai, which comprises of a frame with a plywood surface upon which is a layer of EVA foam, which is covered by a high-quality PU leather canvas. The competition area comprises of a contest area and a safety area. The contest area shall have a flat surface without any obstructing projections. The contest area is 8 meters in length by 8 meters and has a height of 80 centimeters demarcated on all four sides by a red line which is 5 centimeters thick. A yellow warning line, which is 10 centimeters thick, is drawn 90 centimeters in on four sides of the contest area. At the center of the contest area surface is the IWUF logo, which is 120 centimeters in diameter. Paragraph 2. The contest area is surrounded by a safety area which comprises of foam protective safety mats which are 2 meters in width and 30 centimeters in height. Article 31. Equipment. Paragraph 1. Colored paddles. These paddles are utilized by the sideline judges when judging about to indicate the winner, loser, or a draw of a round. The round section of the paddle has a diameter of 20 centimeters, and the handle is 20 centimeters in length. There are a total of 18 paddles comprising of 6 red paddles, 6 blue paddles and 6 split, half red, half blue, paddles. Paragraph 2. Admonition cards. 12 15 cm by 5 cm yellow cards are used for admonition, with the Chinese characters
劝告
and the English word admonition on them. Paragraph 3. Warning cards. 6 15 cm by 5 cm red cards are used for admonition, with the Chinese characters
警告
and the English word warning on them. Paragraph 4. Forcible counting cards. 6 15 cm by 5 cm blue cards are used for admonition, with the Chinese characters
强读
and the English word forcible counting on them. Paragraph 5. Appeal cards. 6 15 cm by 5 cm orange cards are used for lodged appeals, with the Chinese characters
申诉
and the English word appeal on them. Paragraph 6. Card rack. 2 racks, one in blue and one in red, are used for holding the cards. They are 60 centimeters long and 15 centimeters high. Paragraph 7. Default paddle. 2 yellow paddles are used for default purposes, with the Chinese characters
弃权
and the English word default on them, written in red color on one side and in blue color on the other side. The round section of the paddle has a diameter of 40 centimeters, with a handle that is 40 centimeters in length. Paragraph 8. Appeal paddle. 2 orange paddles are used for lodging of appeals purposes, with the Chinese characters
申诉
and the English word appeal on them, written in red color on one side and in blue color on the other side. The round section of the paddle has a diameter of 40 centimeters, with a handle that is 40 centimeters in length. Paragraph 9. Stopwatch. 2 stopwatches, one as a reserve. Paragraph 10. Whistle. 2 whistles, 1 single pitch, 1 double pitch. Paragraph 11. Megaphone. 3 megaphones. Paragraph 12. Gong, mallet and rack. 1 set. Paragraph 13. Tally counter. 15 to 20 tally counters. Paragraph 14. Video camera. 2 video cameras. Paragraph 15. Metric scale. 2 sets. The scales must display to 2 digits following the decimal points. Paragraph 16. Wireless microphones. 3 wireless microphones, to be pinned to platform referee's chest. Paragraph 17. Electronic scoring system. 1 set of electronic scoring system.
Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to our channel to stay updated on our video courses.